Hello all, this is Dr.U.Uma Devi, Assistant Professor of Botany, the Standard Fireworks Rajaratnam College for Women, Sivagasi. So in this lecture, we will be seeing about the structure of cell. So in this lecture, we will be seeing about the structure of cell, cell organelles and its functions. Cell is the basic structure and function and biological unit of all the living organisms. It is always called as the building blocks of the life. So the study of cell biology is called as cell biology. It was first discovered by Robert Hooke in the year 1665. So the cell provides the structure for the body and the nutrients. It takes up the nutrients from the food and converts these nutrients into energy, and it also do the metabolism inside the cell. There are two types of cells, one is prokaryotic cells and another one is eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells are found in the primitive organisms, whereas the eukaryotic cells are found in the developed organisms. There are few differences between the prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells. Let us see them. Prokaryotic cells have no nucleus, they are called as nucleoids, whereas the eukaryotic cells have well developed nucleus, they are called as the true nucleus. They are all single celled organisms, whereas the eukaryotes are multicellular organisms. The size of the prokaryotic cells ranges from 0.1 to 0.5 micron in diameter, whereas that of the eukaryotes is ranging from 10 to 100 micron in diameter. The hereditary unit of the prokaryotes is DNA or RNA, whereas that of the eukaryotes is the nucleus. So there are also many other cell organelles found in the eukaryotes which are responsible for various metabolisms that is happening inside the cell. Prokaryotes generally reproduce by vegetative method, that is binary fission, whereas the eukaryotes reproduce either by sexual method or by asexual methods. Even in eukaryotes there is a difference between the plant cell and the animal cell. There are few differences, we can note it, which are very significant. So this is the pictorial representation of the prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells. So prokaryotes are the unicellular organisms which have minimal number of cell organelles, whereas that of eukaryotes it is found in the multicellular organisms. It is having n number of cell organelles within them, and each one is performing its own function. So coming to the cell structure. So cell structure includes cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus and the cell organelles. So let us see one by one. The first one is the cell wall. Cell wall is made up of cellulose. It is found as the outermost covering of the cell. It is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. It protects the plasma membrane and the internal cellular organelles. So it is the outer protecting layer of the cell. So it is rigid and stiff in structure surrounding the cell membrane. It provides a proper shape and support to the cells and protects them from the mechanical injuries. Cell membrane. Cell membrane, gives support and protects the cell from various damages, and it is found next to the cell wall. So this cell membrane is also called as the plasma membrane. It separates the internal structure, that is the cell organelles, from the external environment. It is the outermost covering of the cell within which all the cell organelles like cytoplasm, nucleus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum are found. So it is often referred as plasma membrane. The next one is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the internal part of the cell. So it is a jelly-like substance, thick, clear, and it is found inside the cell. In the cytoplasm, most of the chemical reactions occur. The cell organelles such as endoplasmic reticulum, vacuoles, mitochondria, ribosomes are suspended in the cytoplasm. It plays a major role and it embosses all the cell organelles within it. And next is the nucleus. Nucleus is the most important cell organelle. So nucleus is the hereditary unit of the cell. So it has DNA. The nucleus is surrounded by a nuclear envelope and it separates the DNA from the rest of the cell organelle. The nucleus protects the DNA and is an integral part of the component of the plant cell structure. So it holds all the genetic information that is required for the living system in here. And the next cell organelle is the nucleolus. Nucleolus is the site for ribosome synthesis. So, ribosomes are synthesized in the nucleolus, and it also provides it also controls the cellular activities and cellular reproduction. It is very important in the cellular reproduction. And next cell organelle is the nuclear membrane. So, it covers the nucleus and it is found in two layers, outer nuclear membrane and the inner nuclear membrane. So, it has two layers and it helps in the protection of nucleus from the cell, forming a cell boundary between the nucleus and other cell organelles. Next is the chromosome. So, this is the very important thing in the nucleus. So, it holds all the genetic information, it determines the sex of an organism. So, human beings have 23 pairs of chromosomes. So, chromosomes are the compact structure of DNA. So, DNA compiled together to form the chromosomes. So, next is the endoplasmic reticulum. This is the site for the transportation of substances throughout the cell. So, it helps in the transporting of materials within the cell for the metabolism. So, it plays a primary role in the synthesis of various metabolites like carbohydrate, lipids, steroids and proteins. It helps in the synthesis of these compounds. And next cell organelle is the Golgi apparatus or Golgi complex, or we call it as Golgi bodies. See, these Golgi bodies are called as the cell post office. It helps in the communication and transport of materials within the cell. And the next important cell organelle is the ribosomes. The ribosomes are the center for protein synthesis. The ribosomes are found attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. So, these ribosomes help in the production of or synthesis of protein particles. And next is the mitochondria. Mitochondria is often called as the powerhouse of the cell because it is the place where the ATP molecules are being synthesized. These ATP molecules are the energy molecules which helps in maintaining the functions of all the cell organelles, and it is the cell's energy currency. So, next cell organelle is the lysomes. Lysomes protects the self by engulfing the foreign bodies entering the cell and help in the cell renewal. So, whenever there is an exposure of or there is an entry of foreign particles inside the body, these lysosomes become active and they start engulfing the foreign materials within them. So, this helps in the protection of the cell, and it is often called as a suicidal pack since it is engulfing all the foreign particles and the waste materials that is produced in the cell. It is it digests the substances. It is called as suicidal packs. Next one is the chloroplast. Chloroplast is found exclusively in the plants. So, these chloroplasts are the center for the photosynthesis process. They have chlorophyll pigments, they produce chlorophyll pigments, and chlorophyll pigments are responsible for the photosynthesis process, and these are found only in the plants. And the last cell organelle is the vacuoles. Vacuoles are the storehouse. They store the food materials, water and other waste materials inside the cells. So, I hope this session was helpful in learning the glimpses of the cell structure and its functions. Thank you.